third and final BOA of the season as the Edmonton Oilers play host to the Calgary Flames down at Rogers Place. And it's the return of the Oilers MVP, Leon Draisaitl. One half of my fantastic sweater that I wore today. You're best dressed for a big night, baby, as we get set for a big one. Oilers Flames Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. Let's get it fucking going, people. I am jacked up for this one on a Saturday night. Hello, what up, and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant, and it's a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today, because whatever the moment, you know it, people, it is never ordinary. I am joined all evening long by the one, the only Coomzy, writer here at Oilers Nation, who has been doing a whole heck of a lot of pre and post with me lately, and you will be in the month of April as well. We get down to the stretch run of the season, but Coomzy, Saturday night BOA, unfortunately, it's a different vibe because we're at home. Normally for this one, we'd be in studio. We'd be crushing nation beers. We'd be eating oodle noodle. I don't know if you've looked outside. Kind of shitty out there. You live in an apartment, so I'm very curious. You probably don't have to shovel or do anything, do you? Because it took me, I have a big-ass driveway. It's like at least 2 cars wide, 2 long. It's big. And that took me like 2+ hours yesterday to shovel that thing. Then I had to shovel my mom's driveway today because I'm a good son. But Coomzy, how we doing? How we holding up? We staying warm? And yeah, are you shoveling? Do you have to shovel?
Not shoveling, no, because I am in a condo. So we just got to watch that blizzard go on for the 2 days from 9 floors up, seeing all the snow come down, seeing all the people just like struggling to shovel, walk around, slip on the sidewalk, cars driving, honking and whatnot. Absolute disaster. I really leaned in. This is a real rookie mistake for me, considering I've, lived here for 30 years. But I really thought at the beginning of March, when it got nice outside, that we were good. I was like, all right, patio furniture is coming out. We're fine. And there we are like 4 or 5 snows later. And I'm like, why is my patio furniture out in March?
Yeah, that's a huge rookie mistake, dude.
So stupid.
I was telling Pete Blackburn, I was like, yeah, dude, it snows in March. It's going to snow in April. And I bet you there will be one dump in May. It might be gone a couple days later. There usually is. My judgment is always, if the snow's gone by May long weekend, we're going to have a good year. It's like the reverse Groundhog Day, like that kind of thing. Like, I know it's going to be good. But let's check in with the chat because it's Saturday night BOA. Vibes in here look pretty good. But Bud, starting it off saying St. Louis won again today. They could pass Minnesota and play Vegas, flipping them to the Pacific Division. Me and Brett were just talking about this. Producer Brett Holden behind the scenes today. I'm so sick of hearing about the St. Louis Blues, and it is crazy. 9 in a row they have now won, as they won 2-1 over the Colorado Avalanche earlier today. Chris Knobloch's in, as he always is. Says, I regret to inform you all, Jeff Skinner is in the top 6, which we celebrate, but Nobby's really playing his role, committed. Bob Stauffer, hearing a lot of hate and doubt in the news as of late. People forget who we are at what we haven't even shown yet. Hold your heads high, people. Let's go tonight. Hashtag Ben, hashtag Oilers Amanda. Thank the hockey gods for 29 tonight. I know DJ Bean, Pete Blackburn, and Sean DePause from What Chaos. Yeah, they're thanking their lucky stars for Leon. DJ was never wavered. He was 100% confident that Leon was going to play in the Battle of Alberta, especially after the effort we saw on Thursday. Southpaw, hope will never die. Cup, yeah. Cup, yeah. Yep. Shout out Brett. He's behind the scenes. Yeah, keep it going, Brett. Yeah, keep it going here. Kiana, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Kiana, did I see your name on the list on the Nation Vacation check-in thing this morning? Because I checked in for my flight. We leave bright and early, and I'm pretty sure I saw her name in there. She says, BOA, baby. Let's pour an orange dub on the schedule and remind the Flames why we're the better Alberta hockey team. Number one fan, we were just trying to figure this out, how to say this. The German-inator is coming back tonight. Shout out number one fan. Bella, who is also coming on the Nation Vacation, says, currently getting oodle noodle for the first time. Can't wait for that and the game tonight. Let me know what was your order, and then give me a rating. Dave Portnoy scale, so I need the decimal point in there. Levi, Brett, give it to me here. I got a cup, yeah. Cup, yeah. Number one fan also says a cup, yeah. A cup, yeah. Lance Kane, who's also coming on the Nation Vacation, says a cup, yeah.
Yep.
There we go. Looks like it's me a good one. Mr. Kate's hope will never die. Yes, it says cup year. But people, as I mentioned, yes, it's the BOA. It's the BOA tonight. Very excited for that. But I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't excited for this game to end, because that means bright and early tomorrow morning, we are heading to the airport for the nation vacation to Viva Las Vegas. Coomzy, unfortunately, you're not coming on this trip, so I'm going to try and not give the most extreme FOMO here, but I am so excited for this.
Live your life.
Hey, that's why I love you. That's why I appreciate you. If you're in the chat, let me know if you're coming on the trip and you're excited. Brett Holden, producer behind the scenes. I just want to bring him in right now because Brett's going to be my roommate for the next couple of days. We're going to have a good time together. I expect that one could definitely be the party room. Couple things, Brett. We don't have a whole heck of a lot planned. On Sunday night, we have like a 6 p.m. like meetup at some bar inside of Circa Hotel, which looks way too nice for us to be staying there. It's unbelievable. We're going to be by the pool every day. Tomorrow's the Elite Eight continued on. Brett and I are going to be wagering heavily and responsibly. I'm sure of it. But Brett, we don't have anything else planned for tomorrow. Anything else that we could really do? I want to present this maybe to Lance Kane, Bella, Kiana, if they're in the chat, Coomzy, even you. I've been to Vegas twice before. I've been on the young guy stuff where I just partied. I really want to go see a magic show. And I was looking at the residency schedules. Chris Angel is doing a show late Sunday night. I think it's like 9:30. I used to watch that show all the time as a kid. Get your mind free. He'd grab the camera. And it was the absolute best thing in the world. Brett, I'm curious to ask you, would you be down to get your mind freaked? And Lance Kane, let me know. Are you down?
Brother, the one thing that I've been tasked to do when I come back from Vegas from my girlfriend is to bring back a Chris Angel shirt. So yes, I would totally be in. I kind of have to, but I also watched Chris Angel growing up, so little nostalgic.
Coomzy, you ever watch Chris Angel Mind Freak? Because I was addicted to that show, and then some of them I'd be like, there was one he was like chained up in like an abandoned building, and then they demolished it, and he didn't get out in time, but then he raised up out of the rubble, and I was like, all right, that's that one I don't believe, but if you shut your brain off and you do whatever you need to know, it's awesome. Coomzy, did you ever get your mind freaked back in the day?
Oh yeah, by that. And what was the other one? David Blaine as well. What the F, David Blaine? Remember that? I think you should capitalize on the opportunity, man. You're almost 30. You can't go to Vegas and get lit up the first night you're there. You're not gonna. You gotta take it slow. Go and see like a show. Do something chill the first night. I think that's the way to do it.
If you think I'm not getting lit up to go get my mind freaked, you're sadly mistaken as well, because it's gonna be a hell of a trip. Wait, no, this one here. Let me answer these first. Lance says I'm in for Magic Show Sunday night. Bob Stauffer, Chris Angel is a must. Chris Angel rocks. Read that. Go see Chris Angel. I think everybody, number one fan says Jagger Bomb Sunday. Yeah. Okay. I think the Sun Dogs are going to be out tomorrow, Brett. We're going to be going at it. But Jeff here says, is there still pregame when you're there? Yes, there will be, people. If I look directly to my left, I have a shit ton of podcast gear that I am bringing to Vegas because we're doing Oilers Nation every day. Same schedule. Just live poolside from Stadium Swim at Circa on Fremont. And then for the Tuesday game, we're going to do a pregame show like we've done before. So we'll go live from Vegas. Not sure the exact time, but it will be before pregaming with, what do we call it before? Limesy? Pregaming with Limesy?
Yeah, I think we might ask that. I think it's just going to be pregaming with Liam after figuring out the background of that name.
There we go. I will also take recommendations in the chat for what you can change that name to. What's a ZY that ends on the end of Robesy? Pregaming with Robesy? No, that's not it, but that's close. We're getting somewhere with it, but we're going to do a pregame live from Vegas, and then we have to take a bus from Fremont over to T-Mobile. So we're going to end it early, hand it over to Liam and Coomzy. It might even be you pregaming, I believe, with Liam from Edmonton. Your regular stuff there. We'll get Liam's bankroll in there, and then we will be joining after the game live from outside T-Mobile, probably just off a phone, which, Brett, that's the other thing. And Lance, buckle up, because I don't know if you're aware. We're watching from the Stella Artois VIP lounge and like the Heineken. I don't even know what it's called, but it's super fancy. And all your booze and food is already incorporated into what we've paid. So I don't make the rules. I think we're going to have to indulge severely into that. So be sure to tune into that post-game show because, Brett, something tells me we're going to have a night that night.
It is going to be trouble. As we always say, win or lose, we booze, and it's going to be even better when the booze is paid for.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've already paid for it, but it's like you don't think of it like that. You just continue to roll. We got a great deal. Final one, Brett. We're rooming together. We've never done that before. I did request one king-size bed. Unfortunately, they only gave me 2 queen beds, but we can push them together. We can push them together and make a super bed. Are you a snorer? I'm curious.
According to my girlfriend, I'm a snorer, but before like being with her, I was always told no. So I might be a snorer, so I'm sorry. But either way, like I don't think we're gonna be sleeping too much because we still have to make the 1 before 10 or 10 before 1. And I'm not exactly. I mean, I will be
before
in
10 or 10 before 1.
I'll be in the train of doing 10 before 1. But if I can get ahead of the curve, I have to get that 1 before 10.
Much like me at the roulette table. Let it ride, baby. I'm excited for that. We're going to have a good time. All right, Bert. Also, Taylor sounds like she's lying. You don't snore. Come on, baby.
Thank
and also,
you.
I'm also going to be crushing, so we might just be both sawing logs in that room because something tells me the boys are getting after it. Once again, I don't know if we're bringing any. I think we were thinking about doing it, so I'm curious. I should ask Kennedy. But shout out to Odd Company Nation Beer, everyday lager. That's what's always in this cup. Well, actually, a couple times it's been water. Bordzy was feeling rough in a couple of these morning games, but Odd Company Nation Beer, get it. 2 Odd Company locations in the Edmonton area, 1 downtown, 1 in their Ritchie location, or simply go to liquorconnect.com, type in Nation Beer, bang, it'll pop up all the local liquor stores that are carrying these bad boys, and you could be sipping the finest golden lager known to man. And it's some awesome stuff. I really hope we can bring some because there's a couple out-of-town people that are coming. Well, I think there's a lot of out-of-town people coming on the vacation who have yet to try Nation Beer. So who knows? Maybe I can. No, it wouldn't be smart to put that in the luggage with all of the expensive camera gear. No. Bordzy. As for the game tonight, though, Coomzy, if you can tell, I've got incredibly high vibes, right? And I think everybody should surrounding the BOA. Come on, Edmonton, Calgary. You only get it 3 times a year. But there is a little bit of a dark, ominous cloud kind of over the Edmonton Oilers right now. They are not in a position where many kind of envision we would be with 10 games left to go in the season, right? Everything's kind of faltering. They're not firing on all cylinders. They are banged up. Believe me, they've got their excuses for why they're playing the way they are. But the kind of, and I hate to say it, pissing away their chances at a Pacific Division title and maybe even home ice advantage in round 1. So Thursday night, that game was bad against the Seattle Kraken. We were at Greta. Shout out to the What Chaos crew. They're probably there still right now. And then they're going to be walking over with a convoy from Greta to Rogers Place. They told them you have to trek in the snow. You got to get a couple beers and you bring a road beer as you're walking along. EPS is no longer a sponsor. I can say that now. But I think they're going to be very excited for that one. We had an awesome time Thursday as well. Don't get me wrong, people. As Brett said, win or lose, we booze. We competed. Liam was the MVP of that night. Coomzy, he didn't watch like more than 4 minutes of that hockey game. Liam was around the entire building playing every single game. He was sweating in his Jasper Bears nice sweater that we got at nationgear.ca. It was hilarious to watch him. But as for the game, that sucked ass, dude. And it was the second game in a row where the Edmonton Oilers completely fell apart in the second period of a hockey game. And I mentioned the long list of excuses. You're without Connor and Leon. You're without Stuart Skinner. You don't have Matthias Ekhl. Second half of a back-to-back, sure. But some of that play in the second period was just god-awful. Horrible turnovers, bad D-zone play, back-breaking errors, right? And a lot of the same stuff that really plagued this team once they came out of the 4 Nations break. We did the post-game show. We were super optimistic because we had a couple of beers, and me, Tyler, and the What Chaos boys kind of had the same sentiment that with a game like that, we basically were in our bag with loser talk and all the excuses and all the reasons why you throw this game out, you bury the tape out back, and you don't take a look at it again. Coomzy, I'm curious, what were your thoughts on that game, and do you subscribe to that same theory? All the laundry list of reasons. Scheduled loss was the wording being used a lot.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm not really sure what else you can say about that. Like the Dallas game the night before on Wednesday, we were doing that game, the pre and post game show, and we thought, yeah, they wind up losing that one 4-3, but it was one you can hang your hat on, one you could look at a lot of different efforts from a lot of different players and say, hey, this was solid. This was impressive. If you play like this when your best two players, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, are back, that's a good sign for the team's depth, but that just wasn't the case on Thursday. And I think that's sort of to be expected. Like you have the team missing the two best players and then go on the road immediately after the game. You're flying, checking into a hotel, playing the next night, and you're already injured and you don't have that much depth behind those players. So obviously a scheduled loss, but it would have been nice to see a bit of a better effort than that, because I mean, this is the Seattle Kraken we're talking about. This is the team that the Oilers did beat at home without Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. This is one of those, vanilla non-playoff teams that's just, beatable even without your two best players. So it kind of felt like they went down early in that game and sort of just kicked it away, and they sort of just gave up, which is a bit disappointing. So given the fact that they gave about 10-15 minutes of effort on Thursday, you'd expect they should have a lot of energy on Saturday against Calgary.
That's exactly what I was selling DJ, Pete Blackburn, and Sean on, man, that you had to also, Coomzy. What terrible timing for them to come, hey? Like Edmonton, I love the city, but no
right
Connor, no Leon. Stuart Skinner gets injured. Just an absolute shit kicking of a hockey game. It's snowing that much out. All of those reasons tells me the Oilers are going to be highly motivated tonight for the BOA. And if there's one bright, shining glimmer of hope in this hockey game, it's the return of the MVP, Leon Draisaitl, baby. The Edmonton Oilers forward expected to return to the lineup tonight. He's not played since March 18th when he got injured in the second period against the Utah Hockey Club. It still has been undisclosed the entire time. We don't know what it was. Very weird in that game because the Oilers were kicking the shit out of the Utah Hockey Club, yet Leon led the Oilers forwards in ice time. He was playing with PP2 out in the third period, up like 4 or 5 goals, just trying to get that 50th goal of the season. He then sits out 4 games in a row, right? The Oilers go 1-2-1 over that stretch. Now, they also lost Connor McDavid right after that, so that record includes both of them, I think, for 3 of those hockey games. Leon gave a pregame interview today that I just loved. He's getting into playoff mode. The one quote I took out of it, here it is. I'll play through anything at the right time. God damn it, I love Leon Draisaitl. He also mentioned, right, how everybody in that room is dealing with something at this time of year. We all know Leon Draisaitl has played through injury plenty of times before in his NHL career, specifically the NHL playoffs. Tonight, Leon's back on the top line. He'll be reunited with Victor Arvidsson and Vasily Podkolzin, 2 guys who are playing very, very well with one Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. But Nuge slides down. You're going to get Jeff Skinner and Zach Hyman on his wings, which I do love. But Leon, it's awesome to see him back. He's 1 goal away from 50. He is still currently 7 goals up on second place William Nylander, 49-42 for Willie Stiles. Personally, I'm just thanking my lucky stars that I think Leon's going to be playing in Vegas on Tuesday night. We'll at least get one half of the dynamic duo. Coomzy, obviously, Leon is a huge boost to this team when he returns. But my question to you, it might be featured in the bankroll. This just feels like Leon scoring 50. It's written in the stars, coming back, maybe not playing 100%, going to carry this team Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. He's going to score a goal tonight, right?
It feels like it. Yeah, it feels like the stage is really set for this. You think back to the Utah game a couple weeks ago, and like you said, they had him play 22, 23 minutes that game, even though they were up 7-1. And apparently he's got some nagging injury throughout all of that anyway. He isn't able to score the goal, and he's stuck at 49 then for over a week, just kind of stewing on it. So I think coming back to the lineup with the team having lost back-to-back games there against Dallas and Seattle, that we're going to get the kind of Leon Draisaitl that's shot out of a cannon. I just feel like, given the way things finished in that game against Utah, they're going to start very quickly in Calgary.
I think we're going to see a highly motivated squad. And like I said, we only get 3 BOAs this season. That crowd is going to be rowdy. I know DJ, Pete, and Sean, they're going to be extra rowdy. I'm going to be screaming from my couch at home. But that Leon Draisaitl news is kind of the only good news, injury news, I'll say, surrounding the Edmonton Oilers right now, because Connor McDavid, Stuart Skinner, Matthias Ekholm, and now John Klingberg will all be out this evening. Now, might be addition by subtraction, depending how you feel about one John Klingberg. I know how I feel about him. I'm done. But for McDavid, he's continuing to recover from a lower body injury. We're not sure yet if he's going to come on the road trip to Vegas for the Edmonton Oilers. Stuart Skinner, he remains day to day. The wording's been very weird, cut and dry, whatever. Like, it could be up to a week. He is currently day to day, but the same thing applies to him. Don't know if he will be coming on the plane with the team. And then there's Mattias Ekholm, who will miss his second straight game in a row. He continues to struggle to remain healthy. Nobby said it's maintenance issues and trying to keep him right because something that has been lingering, paraphrasing, whatever that is what Nobby said. Oh, there it is. Shout out there. There's a good chance Leon here. But John Klingberg, he is also expected to be out in this one. He played for like the first time, I think, in weeks. Thursday against the Seattle Kraken. I thought he was not great in that hockey game. Kind of done with that experiment. But, dude, if you check the Edmonton Oilers injury report right now, I was looking at my app. It's got Ekholm out, McDavid out, Klingberg out, Skinner out, Trent Frederick IR, Evander Kane IR, Alec Regula is still on IR. It does say Leon Draisaitl day-to-day. We expect him in the lineup. Coomzy, either way, tough sledding for the boys right now as we get down to 10 games left in the NHL season.
Yeah, and this isn't really something that the Oilers have dealt with the past few seasons. We've had the last few years, usually the Oilers are on a nice groove kind of sliding into the playoffs and everyone's healthy, things are going well. This is kind of a new horizon for the Oilers to deal with, especially with not having Connor McDavid right now, and there isn't really a specific timeline as to when they're going to expect him to be back. Same thing with Mattias Ekholm. This has been really vague and weird for almost a couple of months now. This is something that dates back to the middle of January that he was a game time decision for a game against the Minnesota Wild. That was over 2 months ago. And I mean, for the Oilers, you only have about 3 weeks left here in the regular season. And it's starting to look like, we talk many times throughout the year, oh, what's this team going to look like when it's fully healthy? Who's going to play with what? Who's going to do, are we even going to get to a point where the team is fully healthy? Or is it going to be, they have to edge out the LA Kings in the first round minus top players? Is it going to be a situation like that where the Oilers are having to get through the playoff series each one, and it's, at the end of this series we'll have this reinforcement coming in? There isn't that much time left, so it's a little bit worrying if you're a fan of the Oilers, of course, but I guess we'll see.
Blind faith, brother. I always say you can choose to be optimistic, you can choose to be pessimistic. I'm going to choose to drink that Kool-Aid and pedal it out as well. Also, I got a super chat in here. Didn't see it from our boy Lance Kane. Reminder, all your super chat donations are headed to the Ben Stelter Foundation. Lance says, I'm going to the Punk Rock Museum right off the plan, but I am down with Magic Show Sunday night. Yeah, Lance, we're both big, huge Sum 41 guys. We're both at the concert. I'm pretty sure that Punk Rock Hall of Fame tour is hosted by two guys in Sum 41, not singer Derek Whibley, but Dave Brownstown and Cone. Lance, confirm to me if that's correct. Because I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do because I do have to work on this trip. Either way, mentioned 10 games left in the regular season for the Edmonton Oilers. It's time for a standing race update here. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Brett, pull it up for me. So this would have been, I guess, before, because I regret to inform you people, the Vegas Golden Knights did defeat the Nashville Predators by a score of 3-1 in their hockey game earlier today. So the Oilers started the day 9 points back of the Vegas Golden Knights. Here you see it on your screen. That's 9. So now add 2 more in there because I see this game had just concluded kind of, I think, in the time frame that we started this show. It's tough sledding right now. That dream is looking pretty much as close to dead as it could ever be about winning the Pacific Division. The real battle, though, Coomzy, it's for that 2 seed with the LA Kings. The Oilers 2 points back, while the LA Kings have a game in hand. Vegas, they played Nashville already, and then LA is going to host the Toronto Maple Leafs. What is that one already over as well? Or no, sorry, that one will be starting 1-1 right now in the third period. Go Toronto, go. Go Toronto, go. Austin Matthews, please score a clutch goal. So the priority here, obviously, for the next 10 games, Coomzy, is without a doubt health, because what's the point of all this if you're not going to have 100% McDavid, Draisaitl, Ekholm, Skinner, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But home ice advantage could be absolutely massive in the first round series between the Oilers and Kings, because I don't know if you've been checking the Kings home record this season, more so for the people in the chat. The Kings and home ice on Crypto.com Arena Ice are 26-3-4 this season, as opposed to on any other ice on the road, 14-19-5. That is quite the discrepancy. Obviously, it would be the first time the Kings would have home ice advantage over the Oilers in the last 3 playoff series, in which the Oilers will beat in 7, 6, 5. Hoping this year could be 4. But Coomzy, that stat about the LA Kings on home ice it's quite discouraging to me. It makes me quite nervous. So these couple games here in April are going to be quite intense for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, this is a pretty big stretch here. You really don't want to be the road team going in and facing the LA Kings in the first round, considering this is kind of their Stanley Cup, right? I mean, if you look at the context of the Kings, I don't want to say that they're not a real contender. They're not actually competing for the Stanley Cup. I mean, they're a good team, but they've lost in the first round of the playoffs in 3 consecutive years to the Oilers. Last year, of course, they lost in 5 games. Every single year, it seems like it gets quicker and easier for the Oilers to win that first round series. So if you're the LA Kings, and especially if you're one of those guys that's been a part of all 3 of those playoff losses, then you're kind of gearing up for this spring being like, we got to beat the Oilers. And that's kind of what the looks like what the Kings have going on here. They're a great home team, and they're ahead of the Oilers now in the Pacific Division standings. And if it were to start today, they would be hosting the Oilers in the first round. So it would be a pretty big advantage for the Kings. So I think there's 2 head-to-heads left still. They play once in LA, once in Edmonton. I mean, a lot of who finishes ahead of who is going to come down to who wins those games. But the Oilers have to keep pace here and make sure that doesn't happen like they fell out of the Pacific Division race well before the April 1 head-to-head against Vegas here. So you got to hope that you don't completely fall behind Los Angeles before you play your 2 heads-to-head with the Kings.
I still can't believe there's going to be 2 games against the LA Kings in April, and then we're going to go play a 7-game series also in that month. Something tells me shit's going to get wild between those 2 teams. Also, Seth is in with $6.99, and he says, let us never forget this week of darkness and remember how blessed we are. What's wrong with this week? What's wrong with this week? Do you know, Coomzy?
Oh, I have no idea. This is
we're blessed, baby. We are blessed.
We are too blessed to be stressed.
Maybe because the Oilers were injured and now we get Leon back. Either way, I fucking love the eternal optimism, Seth. At a boy, the Calgary Flames, though, on the other side. Dude, they're playing for their playoff lives right now, right? Calgary started the day 6 points back of the St. Louis Blues, who continue to never lose a hockey game again. They've now won 9 in a row. So they're 8 back of the Blues as of this moment. They would technically now have 4 games in hand, but obviously they're about to drop the puck in 32 minutes. So it's a tight race. The Vancouver Canucks are also in that. They're technically ahead of the Flames. They're 2 points up on Calgary, but Calgary has 2 games in hand over the Canucks. Calgary, they're 5-3-2 in their last 10 games. They were riding a 4-game win streak before the Dallas Stars beat them 5-2 on Thursday night. Coomzy, the Calgary Flames are playing playoff hockey right now. They already have been for quite some time. They're playing for their lives. And as much as this pains to say, nobody clipped this. For a team that was supposed to be bottom dweller of the NHL, playing for lottery position, it is quite impressive of where the Calgary Flames currently are this season. None of us at Oilers Nation, probably even Flames Nation. In fact, they were cheering for the tank. They didn't even want to make the playoffs over there. Coomzy, it pains me, but it's been a pretty successful season for the Flames, depending how you look at it. Because if you did want to tank, then it's not successful. But Flames, they're still in this hunt.
Yeah, I think it really is depending on how you want to look at it. Because from Calgary's perspective, if they kind of finish where it looks like they're going to finish, given how the St. Louis Blues are playing, and they wind up 9th or 10th in the Western Conference and picking 13th overall in the draft, then it's sort of, well, this is where the Calgary Flames have been since pretty much like the mid-late 90s onward until now. And they've just been sort of, middling around with middling draft picks and things like that. But it looked like this was going to be a race just between Calgary and Vancouver, and one of them was just going to sort of grab that second wildcard spot, that 8th playoff seed in the Western Conference by default. Then the St. Louis Blues just sort of came out of nowhere with this huge winning streak. And now you look at Calgary and you think, can they match what St. Louis is doing? And I mean, they're a solid team. They're fine. But I think a lot of what they had going on earlier in the season was rookie goaltender Dustin Wolf was amazing for them early on. And I think, he hasn't done a full season in the NHL yet. And I think there's some fatigue, just some of the grind of the full NHL season catching up on him. I just don't know if he can carry them to the finish line as sort of a team without much offense, fine defense, just sort of a middling team that's overachieving. I think a lot of that was the first part of the season, and I don't know if they can keep up with a red-hot St. Louis Blues team.
It's a long season. We'll get into the numbers here in a second. But yeah, Dustin Wolf, last couple of games, slipped off a little bit. Also, not very cool for Jeff to say 2-1 Leafs, because it's not. It's still 1-1 that I see here. I don't like that. I got very excited. That's why I keep staring at my phone. Also, Southpaw's in 369. Brett, if you want to come in the background as well, I believe that says dogs be out tonight. Let's go now. Need no information courtesy of our friends from Wilhock Beef Jerky. Only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet, sweet Wilhock name, made from 100% pure Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size. And to get yo jerky on, you can go to wilhockbeefjerky.com. So for the Edmonton Oilers, Brett, if you just want to pull up the April schedule once again for me here, because obviously tonight they're playing the Flames, the last game of March. Then we move on to this. So the Oil play 9 games in April, 3 of them at home, 6 of them will be on the road. 2 against LA, 1 against Vegas, 3 against San Jose. You sprinkle in Blues, Jets, Ducks, all that in there. It is going to be quite the intense month. It still blows my mind that we're about to be back to the NHL playoffs. Feels like I blinked, and it's like it was Game 7 just yesterday. But for lineup notes, Brett, if you want to throw the tweet up again, we can get a look at the lineup that we do project. There you see it. No, the other one, sorry, with the actual forwards and defense, my bad. Podkolzin with Ryan Arvidsson, Skinner with RNH and Hyman. Maximum Jones on the third line with Adam Henrique and Kasperi Kapanen. It was Evander Kane skating in that spot because Corey Perry didn't skate this morning with Janmark and Connor Brown, but Perry is likely and expected to play in this hockey game. Wallman Bush, Nurse with Stetch, Kulak with Emberson. So the tattoo bet, it's on, it's alive and well tonight in this one. Flames Oilers, they've already played twice this season. Flames defeated the Oilers 4-1 back in their first meeting. I believe it was the 3rd game of the season for the Edmonton Oilers. Yep. October 13th, the Oil went 0-3-0. Good times, brother. Good times. Just remember that. A couple weeks later, the Oilers bounced back and they beat them by a score of 4-2. If they win, the Oilers, that is, they would secure the 3rd straight season series in the BOA. And the last time Calgary won the BOA, 2019-2020 season. Somebody put it in the chat earlier. Does anyone know, is my boy Calvin Pickard playing in this hockey game? Well, yes, he is. Stuart Skinner still on the shelf. His return won't be immediate. Listed as day-to-day. Could be about up to a week, around a week, whatever words you want to throw around the word week. You can do that because everybody's doing that. Pickard, 17-8-1 record, 275 goals against, 898 percentage. The Flames, on the other side, 34-26-11 record. 11 loser points in there. Shout out to them, I guess. Fighting for their playoff lives. I mentioned they had a 4-game win streak. Here's a look at the numbers head-to-head between these two hockey teams. The one that jumps out to me, the Calgary Flames, they rank 31st in the NHL in goals scored. So they don't love scoring a lot of goals. But with the way the Oilers defense been playing, they might be leaking some. Jonathan Huberdeau, I guess, shout out him. He leads this team in points this season. Big bounce back campaign for him. He's got 27 goals, 58 points in 71 games played. Nazem Kadri leads the team with 30 goals. Mackenzie Weegar, other guy in that Kachuk deal, he's 3rd in the team in points, leading the back end. He's got 41 in 70, I do believe. Flames are mostly healthy. But if you saw that injury the other day, Coomzy, did you see it? What happened to Connor Zary with Mikko Rantanen, who is becoming quickly the biggest scum? I'm kidding. He didn't mean to run Stuart Skinner, but you can still make that joke. Call him a scumbag if you want. Feel free. Go nuts. But that was, I hate the Flames. Yeah. I'm a sicko. I'm a pervert. I love watching gross injuries. I just feel so desensitized to it. I've lived online my entire life. Even that one was hard to watch for me because he was writhing in pain, grabbing at his knee instantly. Coomzy, that was awful, dude.
Yeah, that was one of the uglier on-ice hockey injuries I've seen in quite some time. That was, I don't know what it is about Mikko Rantanen. Something about him, something something cursed about him where he's got some kind of dark energy going around, a dark cloud wherever he skates. Seems like he's injuring somebody, because that was a nasty and ugly play. That was a hard one to watch. And we got to knock on wood here or something, because don't want something like that happening in tonight's game.
Oh God, I couldn't. Nope, they're not even gonna talk about it because it'll know that I'm afraid of it if we don't even talk about it. And then we do expect that one Dustin Wolf will be the starter tonight. He was the team's 7th round draft pick in 2019. He's 24, 15, and 5, 267 goals against with a 909 save percentage over the stretch of 44 appearances. Let's go now. Sherwood Ford Giant storyline brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giants. Because come on, people, use their Nation Valet service, whatever services you need to get done to your whip. Well, guess what? If you schedule it online with them, do the Oilers Nation Valet stuff, they will come to your home. They'll come to your office. They'll grab your keys off you. They'll take your vehicle. They'll drive it to the dealership. They'll service it, do whatever the hell you need done, and then they'll drive it back to you in the exact same spot that it was parked before, and you won't even know it left. Shout out Sherwood Ford, the Giant for a reason. They do awesome stuff. Come on now. For me and my storyline, I guess, do I even need one? Because it's the BOA, the Battle of Alberta, going down tonight. Always with these, right, dude? Throw everything out the window. You can put those head-to-head stats all you want. I don't give a shit. It's a division game. It's a rivalry game. Both these teams are going to be bringing it up a notch, right? And we've seen a ton of classic games between these two teams at any point in the season, let alone when both of these teams are fighting for the playoffs right now. Flames trying to get in, Oilers trying to get home ice advantage in the first round. And after the, I'll say, putrid effort the Oilers gave on Thursday, and after kind of the tone that Corey Perry set in his interview after Wednesday's game when Rantanen ran Skinner, something tells me we're going to see some fireworks this evening, some high energy, I will say, out there this evening. I'm excited. Corey Perry, looking at you to bring that. My key to victory would be defense, because as I said, the Flames are 31st in the NHL in goals per game, but with the way the Oilers played on Thursday, with those brutal giveaways, bad breakouts, all kinds of just bad stuff. It was just bad. If you do that against any team, they are going to make you pay. So as long as you don't gift wrap the Calgary Flames beautiful chances in front of your net, well, you should be okay, and you should be able to beat this hockey team. Coomzy, you got a storyline, you got a key to victory for me.
I think my storyline, I don't know if it's a key to victory, but my storyline on this, and it's kind of what I touched on earlier before when we were talking about the Flames as a whole, is that Dustin Wolf was great in the first part of the season for the team, and he hasn't been quite as good recently. Over his last 5 games, a save percentage down in the 850 range, and this is his first Battle of Alberta of his career. So high pressure game. You go back to the game that the Flames played earlier this week against Dallas when they were in Calgary. The Flames more than doubled the Stars in shots, but Dustin Wolf had a rough time in that game. So I wonder if some of the cracks are showing in their rookie goaltender, who, I mean, 2 months ago, we were talking about being Flames fans were talking about him being like a lock for the Calder Trophy Rookie of the Year. And I think that's kind of fallen off to the side lately. So that's my key, not my key, but my story of the game is, can Calgary's young goalie live up to the moment?
Somebody answer this for me, because maybe it's something I should have done beforehand. Has Calvin Pickard played in a BOA before? Do you know, Coomzy?
I will take a look.
Yeah, you take a look at that while I continue to move along here. We did just go through the Edmonton Oilers lineup, Brett. If you want to throw it back up here again, you can for me, just for a visual. There you look at it. Leon, he's got the warning sign. He's got the injury thing there from Daily Faceoff. But shout out to Tony Brar, because I'm looking at a video of him practicing in his beautiful blues. Hair's looking fantastic, nice and combed. Leon prime for his return in the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. The other one you see there, right, Corey Perry, bottom left. Evander Kane was skating in that spot because Perry didn't earlier this morning, but he is expected to get a go in this hockey game. Saw it earlier. Someone in the chat was pointing out that why is Leon playing with Vasily Podkolzin and Victor Arvidsson? Because Nuge has been playing so well with those guys over the last stretch here. To me, I say Leon Draisaitl is by far the best player on this roster right now. Those are his most used line mates. Those are his most common line mates that he's had all season. And he's built an MVP caliber season off of that, coming back from injury, maybe not 100%. You want to surround your best player with the best talent around him, the guys he's most comfortable with. I believe in Pods and RV in that situation. But it kind of creates a flip here because Coomzy, I look at that second line and I get very, very excited to see what they can do in action because obviously the Oil going to be on home ice. They're going to have last change. So Leon's line definitely going to be getting the tougher matchups. But you look at Skinner, RNH, and Zach Hyman, those three dudes are red hot right now. So RNH, he's been carrying this team without Connor and Leon. We all know that. Jeff Skinner, in my opinion, should have 4 goals in his last 4 games, but he had one taken away Thursday against the Kraken. But he's been awesome, scoring, ripping pucks, doing the little things. And then Zachary Martin Hyman, don't look now. He is heating up and looking good. In his last 5 games, he has 5 goals and 7 points in total. Leon's going to get that attention tonight. Coomzy, what do you think about Leon going up with those guys? And that second line, that's enticing to me.
Yeah, before going into that, I got to confirm that Calvin Pickard has, in fact, played in the Battle of Alberta game last year, April the 6th, Edmonton at Calgary, 4-2 win for the Oilers. Pickard made 33 saves in the victory. So one-time Battle of Alberta winner already. Pretty exciting stuff. Yeah, with the forward lines, I think with Leon Draisaitl back, this is like a real Captain Obvious statement, but now having multiple players on the ice that can actually, on the roster that can actually score goals is going to help the Oilers, because I think before with the Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl injuries simultaneously, it's pretty obvious that you just need to shut down whatever line Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is on, and that's going to be pretty much Edmonton's entire attack. But now that they have Leon Draisaitl back, there's at least 2 different forward lines that can create offense with him and Nugent-Hopkins on the top 2 lines.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. You look at the third line too. I mean, at Coomzy, of course, we're doing the show together. Maximum Jones.
Minimum Jones lately, though.
Yeah, he has been minimum Jones. He's been minimum ice time Jones, that's for sure. But he's playing on the third line with Adam Henrique and Kasperi Kapanen. Curious to see what the usage is there. Kind of shocking to see Corey Perry below Max Jones on the depth chart, but who knows? Just trying to spread the wealth in there in that bottom 6. One thing I mentioned earlier, right? And I don't want to spend this time just shitting on a guy who's not even playing tonight. But Coomzy, let me ask you: are you done with the John Klingberg experiment? Because I am so done with it. He's a frustrating guy to watch. I call him the poor man's Evan Bouchard. And that's not a good thing because he's slow as molasses out there. The offensive touch just really isn't there. He said it was the first game he played in a couple weeks, looked bad. Now he's injured again. I don't know. I'm ready to throw the towel in on this one. I'm always a fan of depth. I'm always looking for depth. It is never a bad thing. But Coomzy, if John Klingberg had to play meaningful minutes in the playoffs, we are so fucked.
Yeah, I think I don't remember which game it was that we were doing. We were in the office and we were all kind of like, I would rather just watch Cam Dineen play another game than watched John Klingberg. And we all sort of just wondered, why is it when you had players in the American Hockey League that can, make a tape pass, move the puck somewhat effectively, why not just give them a try rather than bringing John Klingberg in at the cap hit that they did? But they did for whatever reason they did. And then since acquiring Jake Wallman specifically, I think Klingberg's spot on the team is kind of, you don't really need another puck-moving defenseman when you have already Evan Bouchard and Jake Wallman. There just isn't really a spot for Klingberg. And I think given that we sort of wanted him to be in the trade to San Jose for Wallman when that was happening, we didn't know what the return was going to be, and we were trying to manifest that John Klingberg was involved in that trade. I think that kind of summarizes where we're at with his tenure as an Oiler.
Yeah, I see Lance is in. Klingberg is good depth to have going on to the playoffs. And then Final Buzzer says, harsh, but fair. For our boy John Klingberg. Also, once again, once an Oiler, always an Oiler. I'll love Klinger. Sure. But I would be terrified if he was out there having to play serious minutes against a Vegas.
You think anyone bought that jersey?
Yeah, no.
Any Klingberg jerseys around?
36s are cursed in Edmonton Oilers now.
That's how you knew it was going to be bad. As soon as it was 36, you were like, this isn't going to work.
Let's go now to the starting goaltender report, brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, home of the $50 ATV, or be on a boat this summer for as low as $105 bi-weekly. As I'm contractually saying for myself all the time, if you buy a boat from there, you have to let me know and invite me to your lake, and we're going to become best friends this summer. Shout out Power Sports Marine. They got an awesome commercial during the Oilers game. It will probably play tonight. and shout out them. They're just awesome dudes over there. I just love going over there. I live very close. So just go over, pop in, look at some toys, bro out with the boys, talk some oil. Studs, absolute studs. Calvin Pickard, he's getting a consecutive start tonight. He obviously played in the third period against Dallas, and he played against Seattle. He's going to play again tonight against the Flames. Who knows about Thursday? I don't think you'd want to throw Olivier Rodrigue into the crease against the Vegas Golden Knights, who have now won 6 hockey games in a row. Fuck me, brother. That one sucks. You did answer that he's already started one BOA game before. Team tonight, I think it's very simple. Just make it easy in front of Calvin Pickard. I'll say it again. The Flames are 31st in the NHL in goals. Calvin Pickard, we know. High floor, lower ceiling. You take care of business in front of him. Once again, this should be a game the Oilers can outscore. Thoughts, Calvin Pickard? Where's your confidence level? Like with Stuart Skinner, it's very vague right now. We don't really know what's going on. The Oilers might be leaning on Calvin Pickard for the next who knows amount of games. Once again, 10 left.
Yeah, it's another one of those things where we have no idea when Stuart's going to be back, or that's kind of one of those ones that's completely up in the air. So maybe it is going to be Cal Pickard and Olivier Rodrigue for a little stretch here. I mean, Cal Pickard's he's been solid for the Oilers in a lot of times where they needed him. But the thing with him is that when he plays too much, things usually go sideways. Remember against Carolina, he has an amazing game, and then they say, hey, let's give him back-to-back, and they play him at home against Anaheim. Gets lit up. So it's sort of hard to say what to expect, but I would expect a good one in this one. But if they have to ride him for a few more games after that, things could go south. But given the context of this one, Battle of Alberta, he just got lit up in Seattle, or he just got lit up against Seattle. I think we're going to see good Calvin Pickard tonight.
Kennedy's dad is in and says, go Picks, go. He also said he was done with the Stuart Skinner experiment earlier.
No,
Kennedy's dad, it might be more than an experiment with our boy Stuart Skinner. Davin says, how the hell did Kennedy's dad get off my block list? Lance also said Gregor says concussion protocol, which means minimum 5 days. Once again, with the brain, I don't know what goes on with that. I don't think anybody knows. It's a very, very kind of scary thing, dude. You only got one brain. And Stuart Skinner, we love you. Take care of that brain. Let's go now to the away team lineup report. The Calgary Flames brought to you by Greta Bar. We shut that shit down on Thursday night. It might have been snowy as all hell outside. That didn't stop us from having great vibes inside the building. Played every single game in there. Beat Brett in beer pong yet again. Actually, he's going to hate this. I beat him 6-2 because it's kind of the way the game works. I can see his face right now. He's going, shout out, Greta. It's an awesome place. And we're going to be moving in pretty soon for the NHL playoffs. As if you were around last year, it was like every 2 days. We were partying at Greta. It was awesome. A great turnout every single night. Can't wait to do it all over again. Very, very excited. Bert, I know you're mad at me now because of what I just said, but can you please throw up the projected lineup for the Calgary Flames? Top line of Yegor Sharangovich with Nazem Kadri and Martin Pospisil. Second line, Jonathan Huberdeau with Morgan Frost and Matt Coronado. Joel Farabee with Michael Backlund, Blake Coleman. Ryan Lomberg with Kevin Rooney and Adam Klapka. Then you look at your deep pairings. Joel Hanley with Mackenzie Weegar. Kevin Ball with Rasmus Anderson. Fuck, do I ever hate him? Jake Bean with Braden Paschal. So, Coomzy, Jonathan Huberdeau is having quite the bounce-back season this year. Who knows? Maybe that wasn't the worst trade of all time in NHL history. He's got 27 goals, 31 assists, 58 points in 71 games played this season. He's already surpassed his point total from each of the last 2 seasons. It was 50-something and 50-something. He's already exceeded those with, I think the Flames now have 11 games to go left in their season. Last year, he had 12 goals. This year, he has 27 goals. The Tkachuk trade, with the way Weegar's played and the way Huberdeau looks right now, I guess the trade not that bad. Could we agree? But it looked just awful for the first 2 years.
I think it's still really bad. I mean, Jonathan Huberdeau is leading the team in scoring with 58 points, 27 goals. It's a fine season, but it also sort of feels like he's leading the team in scoring by default because somebody has to be leading the team in scoring. And I mean, you're playing top power play minutes. You're playing top line minutes. Somebody on the Calgary Flames is going to have to score all these goals and points. And it's this year been Jonathan Huberdeau and Nazem Kadri who are leading the way, 27 and 30 goals, 58 and 56 points respectively. But both of them are minus players. Huberdeau -7, Kadri -17. I know plus minus is a very flawed stat for a wide variety of reasons, but if your top two scorers are in the minus, then that's usually not a good sign. So yeah, I mean, I think the Tkachuk trade looks a little bit better for Calgary, but this whole just situation they've been in ever since losing that playoff series to Edmonton, where they've just been middling around, can't really accept a full rebuild. It's just an ugly spot to be in, and it feels like I've watched the Calgary Flames be in that position for most of my life, and I'm pretty comfortable with them just staying there.
Yeah, no, I could say that as well. You know, it's just like could be a threat here and there, but little brother, you meet him in a round, you just go get off. No, I shouldn't be doing that before this hockey game.
No, we're cursing ourselves. We always do this.
We did it again.
We always do this.
God damn it. The Flames, though, dude, they have 12 players with 24 or more points. You look through that lineup, Bert, if you pull up the forward group one more time, they got depth. I mean, you look at it, there's really not a ton of top-end talent, nowhere near the Edmonton Oilers.
A lot of third lines.
Farabee, Backlund, Coleman, like, sure, it's all in there. If you had to pick a player to watch, I always ask you. I mean, you could pick a D-man as well, feel free, but who would that player to watch be, Coomzy?
Let's go with Nazem Kadri in this game. He seems to be one that will rise to the occasion for Calgary in an emotional Battle of Alberta game. It feels like someone who's either going to do something, score a big goal, make a big play, or do something dumb, maybe make a big hit, try and get into a fight, something like that. I feel like he's going to be involved in the game.
Ryan Lomberg is my pick for a fight tonight against the Edmonton Oilers. Corey Perry v. Lomberg. Book it. You can thank me later for that one. I think they'll be throwing haymakers in there. Also, I just gotta do this now. Doug Waite, you have been doing this in every single show. Am I the only one concerned we could miss the playoffs because of the stupidity of the management this summer? Bordzy, you think Oilers are effed because we can possibly miss playoffs altogether? Doug Waite, you can ask me every single day. No, I don't think the Oilers are fucked. I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs. That answer is not changing. I love you. Thank you for the viewership. Throw down the like. Buddy, calm down. You do this in every single show that we do on this network. Once again, love you. Love the name. It's not that bad, brother. You still
it could be close, though. If the Flames win this game in regulation against Edmonton tonight, they're only 6 points back of the Oilers with the same amount of games played, 10 games each.
I understand that. You can throw the numbers my way. I am never going to say that I am worried about that. No, I believe in this team. We got optimism. But Coomzy, if you had to predict a fight, who would you predict? Yeah, who would you say?
I like the Corey Perry prediction. That makes sense because he seemed like he was a little heated up after some of those games earlier this week. If Darnell Nurse is playing, I could see him getting into a scrap Battle of Alberta. Darnell Nurse, that's just one that goes hand in hand. But I mean, really, there aren't that many guys on the Oilers right now who are willing to drop the gloves. I mean, you kind of got Perry, you've got Nurse. After that, it might be who's your next most likely guy, like Janmark, maybe. It's probably got to be Corey Perry.
Janmark v. Coleman version 2.0.
I dig it.
Remember that one? Janmark beat the wheels off Blake.
That was a possessed Matthias Janmark that we saw. That was a different man than we're familiar with.
That would be insane. You know, he can't score right now. You just got a factory reset. Take a couple punches to the head. You'll be back ready to go, Matthias Janmark. Also, I'm happy to report the Toronto Maple Leafs beat the LA Kings by a score of 3-1. It's officially over. I didn't want to jinx it. I'm counting down the minutes right here. Fuck yeah, here we go, Oil. Cup yeah, as I would say so myself. Let's go now to Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365. You know the drill, people. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Breaking news, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, never ordinary. They are an official partner of the NHL. Download the app today. Use the code NATION to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. All right, Bert, hit it for me, brother. These are the options I'm going for today, Coomzy. All three of these plus signs next to them. Trying to fill the bankroll before I head to Vegas. And no, we'll leave it right there. So number 18, this one, I'm feeling ballsy with. I'm feeling ballsy. So it's over 3.5 shots on goal. Over 2.5 was like minus 155 or something. So it's quite the jump from 3 to 4 shots. But Zach Hyman, We're swinging big on him because he has hit this with 4 shots, 4 of his last 5 games. In his last 5 games, he has 25 shots on goal. He had a game where he had 8 recently in that stretch. He's been ripping the puck recently. I also think Nuge with Skinner, Hyman, Nuge is going to be back to classic facilitator. So I got Jeffrey Scotty Skinner in here as well, over 2.5 shots on goal. He has hit this in 4 straight hockey games, and he has 15 shots over that 4-game stretch, which is an average of over 2.5 per game. And then finally, I don't make the rules. He's back in the lineup. He's 1 away from 50. It's Saturday night, late one on Hockey Night in Canada. Leon Draisaitl, he's scoring a goal in this one, plus 100. They are all plus signs. So if you play them together, plus 1,100. Once again, remember, do so responsibly. Only bet what you are willing to lose. Be smart. But as I see Sadistic Angel just put in the chat, Leon 50, let's go, Coomzy. You see these 3 bets. Which one do you like the most?
I'm going with the Leon Draisaitl one for sure. Like we talked about this earlier. This feels like an inevitability after he was going hard in that Utah game, despite having some injury and the Oilers already being up 7-1 or whatever it was. I feel like this sort of is the automatic, not the automatic, but and it feels like it's going to happen.
Lance says, lock that parlay in with an Oilers W. Meet you at the cashier later, Lance. Actually, I'll meet you at the airport at like 4 in the morning. Gonna have a good one. Jake Wallman's in and says, meet 6.5 block shots. That would suck for me. I would really not like that in the race. Brett, if you have, I see Brett giving thumbs up right now. If you have the tattoo bet, I think I'm up like 6 or something like that. Yeah, I'm currently up 6. For Brett Kulak. We'll get Jake Wallman's numbers. But Wallman was also in earlier in the chat. And what did he say? I'm getting a goal and an apple, and I'm blocking 12. So there you go. Jake Wallman, he's been fantastic. Brett, no, we don't want that.
No, I have skin on this thing, brother. I want Jake Wallman to fuck. Hey, here's the thing. I've already explained this already. I have skin in this race, and right now it is my skin on the line. Jake Wallman, I'm bringing Aaron down with me. Get 15 block shots if you need, brother. Take this man down.
Brett, do we know what Wallman is at right now? It's like 22, 3, 4, something like that.
I think it's, I believe 24 off the top of my head. I can go and look
That's
at
what
it.
I think too. That's what I think too.
Give me 1 sec. I will go and find it, and then I'll return afterwards.
All right. Good boy. I appreciate you, Coomzy. Before he does that, give me a score prediction. Give me an anytime goal scorer tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. You as well in the chat. Good vibes only. W's only.
I'm going to say 4-2 for the Oilers. Anytime goal scorer Leon Draisaitl, and I'm doubling down on my prediction of a Matthias Janmark fight. I'm just going through all the fights the Oilers have had this year, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the Janmark fight happening.
That would be incredible. Just back in the fan base's good books. He just pumps Blake Coleman's eyes shut. Exactly. Oh, that would be awesome for me. I think this game's going to be close. I wouldn't even be shocked if this one had overtime. It just got a playoff atmosphere written all over it. I'm going 4-3 for the Edmonton Oilers. Leon Draisaitl, anytime goal, plus 100.
I got you. And you're not going to like this. All right. So as we all know, I'm going to bring it back up here as we see. 27 for Ty Emberson. Brett Kulak, 33. Jake Wallman's at 26.
Are you fucking shitting me? And there's 10 games to go left in this?
26. He has 7.31 blocks per 60 minutes.
Brett, should we debut
Wallman? We're a Wallman team here, boys.
Should we debut our tattoo ideas on the pregame show when we're in Vegas and we're like a million beers deep?
Yep.
Yes. We are.
I couldn't see how that could ever go wrong for us. I don't see how that could go badly.
We're sitting in the same row on the plane ride down. Maybe we filter through our decisions here on that ride.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, let's look into that. We'll get a couple things. Obviously, we're rooming together, so.
Oh yeah.
Maybe also we joked about getting a tattoo when we were in Vegas. I just couldn't wait. I got excited. Want to get one.
No.
Score prediction, anytime goal scorer. Hit me.
I'm going because in my spider I have over 6.5 goals, so I am going with a good old 5-2 Edmonton Oilers victory, and I have Leon scoring not once but twice, and I also have Silly Pod Colson scoring as well. What up, What up,
Chico, yeah, fake ID. Shout out to Brett. Also, Leon for 2 goals. I'm just looking at that. Plus 550. It does kind of feel like a Leon Draisaitl performance. Either way, that'll do it for us pre-gaming with Bordzy. We'll be post-gaming with Bordzy and Coomzy right here on the ON YouTube channel right after the hockey game, breaking down what we hope to be an Edmonton Oilers W. And then once we're done that, maybe Brett's considering taking, we'll see what he does later, but Brett's considering doing an all-nighter and staying up all night because we're going to finish late. It's always tough to sleep after doing one of these shows. And then we're going to be in the city in the morning. Lance, see you at the airport. Can't wait for that. But people, shout out to our sponsors. Greta Bar Yegg, Sherwood Ford the Giant, Sherwood Power Sports Marine, Bet365, Will Hawk Beef Jerky. I hope the What Chaos boys have an awesome time at Rogers Place for that hockey game. Coomzy, I wish us luck. Hopefully have a solid post-game show and it's not just terrible vibes. No, we're feeling good. Positivity only. I wore my lucky shirt for a reason. Over and out, everybody. I love you. Take care. Talk later. Peace.